Big Friday night in the DMV. The Robinson Rams remain undefeated.
80 years of lineage, 2 decades on the sidelines, first-year head coach.
Honestly, I feel a great deal of pride and gratitude.
Somebody could have ended up saying like, nah, he just in the Big 12. There ain't no type of competition in there.
And a visit with D. Moore. Big 8, they call him. He's the number 2 defensive player in the Mid-Atlantic. Hey, 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 bringing you into another week of high school football in the DMV. Chad Ricardo, I'm Joe Ball. Welcome to High Def High School, brought to you by Quality Chiropractic. Last week was a big weekend. No longer at number 1, Gonzaga. St. John's came into the week at number 1.
That's right, Joe Ball. St. John's is off to a hot start. We're going to take another look at their head coach, Pat Ward, a little later on in the show.
There were some interesting matchups in Virginia. Champ has got a quarterback who's been lighting it up. They went down to play Unity Reed. As we mentioned last week, not a whole lot of the top teams playing tough competition this week, but there were some interesting games. Soco played Justice. Robinson coming into last night undefeated still, so that made for an interesting matchup there, a little bit of playoff potential. And up in Maryland, Chad.
Yeah, in Maryland, of course, you had Gonzaga headed to Archbishop Spalding. Joe, good counsel with a matchup with Mount St. Joe's, and the grandmother of them all, Quince Orchard, taking on Damascus.
At number 7, BQO takes the trip up 270 to take on Damascus. Annually, this is one of the most hyped and highly contested games in the state of Maryland. This year's matchup would be very different. I like to reference these games as heavyweight bouts, but on this night, bro, Damascus would struggle to punch through a wet paper bag. Better days on the horizon for the Hornets. Moments into the game, Devin Reed punting, and didn't they tell you to kick away from 21? Jalen Husky is a bad man. All he does is make plays. 7-0 Cougars. Still in the first, Savon Briggs hands it off to Steven Saniola, and Saniola does the rest. Following that potent QO line, the Vandy commit takes it 70 yards to the crib. His mama and daddy are happy he done gone and made it on TV. QB Savon Briggs getting his first start for QO tonight. He hooks up with Syracuse commit Donovan Brown, who takes it inside the 5. Next play, it's Isaiah Blackman muscling his way into the end zone, and the route was on. 20-0 Cougars. Second half, same story. Martavian Davis on the big run. QO finding ways to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. One of those playmakers is freshman Iverson Howard. He got the start, and he done got himself a touchdown. This young man may be special. Shout out to Big Bro BJ. And as if this cake needed icing, the kid Savon Briggs gonna give it to you. Scrambles, finds his man Donovan Brown, and somebody should have alerted the Damascus secondary that boy got sprinter speed. 90 yards to the house. And after 2 somewhat close games, QO straight mollywops the Hornets. 36-0 is your final score of the Cougars, rounding into form.
You know, we kind of wanted to come out tonight and just kind of, we feel like all year we just, haven't really been able to put together a full game. We've had flashes here and there, maybe a series here on offense, a series here on defense. But tonight I thought for the most part, we played almost a complete game.
Robinson has gotten off to a fast start in 2021. Scott Vossler's Rams certainly got off to a fast start last night, hosting Edison for homecoming. It was 28-0 by the end of the first quarter. Here, Jacob Dunyak's moving outside, cuts it back. He's weaving, Gets it down to the Edison 6-yard line. Rams in business again. Declan Smith caps off the drive with a short push into the end zone. Rams go up 35-0 with 9:58 to play in the first half. Robinson, not overly big. They run a bunch of misdirection. Still first half. Will Cohen on the inside reverse from Dylan Byerline. He gets outside the end on the left side. He's en route to a 39-yard touchdown run. That makes it 42-0 at that point. 4:59 left in the half. Still not even halftime. Dylan Byerline takes this one around the right side. He takes it into the end zone, but this one's coming back. I want to shout out to the Edison kids coached by the mighty Chad Lewis. They're still fighting in this one, down 49-0. Check out Andreas Hill running down Jacob Dunyak. He gets him before he crosses that goal line. He's just a sophomore and a very talented wrestler. Next drive for Edison, Ethan Fugelstad launching one in double coverage. Andreas comes down with it again. Edison fighting hard still. Andreas getting it done for the Eagles. But tonight, Robinson in big fashion at homecoming. They close it out 49-7. Coming up, we're going to visit with a young man from Baltimore who knows what danger is, and he's navigating it with courage.
All that struggle around you, some people fall into it and it drives some to be better.
The St. John's Cadets seem primed and ready to compete for a WCAC championship this year. What's different? Family. And it starts at the top.
And after that, Chad and the Grill Crew are in the octagon again, and it's a good one. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
That felt good. That was a good
If
one.
you've got arms, legs, a back, if you've got a body, period, you're going to need quality care. And the team at Quality Chiropractic treat you like family, and they heal people.
I love being here at Dr. Diamato, the girls in the front desk. They make you feel like family when you come in every time.
Healing whole people, not just backs. Quality Chiropractic is here for you. Call now and book your appointment. Quality Chiropractic, adjusting the quality of your life.
Welcome back to the show. We're going to have a little bit more high school football action coming up for you in a few minutes. But you know what, Chad? The high school football season is in full swing, and we're only weeks away from WCAC conference play.
That's right, Joe Ball. I like to call this the most wonderful time of the year. The St. John's Cadets are annually one of the most talented teams in the WCAC, but this year feels different. They're led by a man who has dedicated his entire life to the Shield.
I always say to parents, this is not an occupation, but a vocation.
For Pat Ward, leading the Cadets is about more than football.
For me, it's a calling.
Ward accepted the head coaching job in January of 2020, but his roots to the program stretch far deeper.
My grandfather graduated in the class of 37.
In addition, Ward has 3 uncles who were cadets, paving the way for he and his brother, assistant coach Mike Ward, to follow the path laid before them.
Honestly, I feel a great deal of pride and gratitude.
Ward, who served as St. John's assistant coach for 19 years, has injected love and passion for the program.
It is about family.
Into his team.
He's a family-oriented guy, so we stick together through thick and thin.
Like, I could really say we're a brotherhood.
Everybody trusts him. He trusts his players.
That trust comes from experience. Ward once walked in his student-athlete's shoes.
I just want to pay forward what was given to me and really trying to help young men reach their dreams.
The former 2-time All-Met performer has been to the mountaintop, helping lead the Cadets to the 2017 WCAC title.
I'm just another spoke in the wheel.
He sees similar traits in this year's squad.
We want them to play for one another, and then we want them to have competitive maturity, which is play to the very best that they can, play to our standard.
Though St. John's is no stranger to star power, Coach Ward's family-first approach is helping the Cadets come together as one.
There's less like individuals on the team. It's more of we're all on the same team.
This team has the most chemistry
out of all the teams I've been on.
As much as being the head coach of his family's alma mater is a dream job,
That's why I feel like I'm blessed.
Ward's ultimate objective is to help reinforce values St. John's taught him.
Being a good person, being a good student, being a good son, being a good football player, they're all wrapped into one.
And the greatest lesson Ward has learned from cadet football?
You can go a long way in life with this game.
I don't really play the game like that.
Derek Moore is the second highest rated high school football player in the Mid-Atlantic United States.
Growing up in Baltimore, it can get rough at times. Everything you're just gonna get used to it, so I feel like I'm just immune to everything that's going around.
Derek lives alone with his single mother.
Everything I do is pretty much is for her. We've been through a lot, like just in the past years, so I just want to make sure that I can just grind, get through whatever I gotta get through, so we ain't gotta go through what we go through anymore.
Everybody heard about Baltimore and what's going on out there. He's from the worst part of the worst city. But he just is so focused, like he's driven to do better and to make generational changes. He talks about with his kids, what he's gonna do for his kids and his grandkids.
And one of the most important things that Derek has to do is keep himself safe during his senior year.
I mean, we live in Baltimore, anything can happen, but pretty much I'm just starting to realize like I gotta watch who around me, and if I gotta stay in the house to do that, that's oh well. Stay in the house, go to school, and just work out. I'm cool with that.
Derek is determined to get out of Baltimore. And while all the top schools in Division I football made him an offer, he chose the University of Oklahoma.
When I'm there, I just feel like I'm already home. I feel like the love is real, everything is just there for me.
He's not really all about the bells and whistles. He's not about the hoopla. He literally actually didn't like the recruiting process.
Coach Masai Halamariam has known Derek for a long time, and he shared an insightful observation about the simplicity of what Derek needed.
He just wants to know that he's going to a good home. When he came to us, it was literally about people that he trusted and that recruited him, that made the effort and said, hey, we think you're going to be pretty special here.
Derek shared with us a few principles that have guided him successfully so far in life and are tattooed on his arm.
I ended up reading it, and then I just ended up sticking by it for real. So it's a few rules that I live by. It's a never duck a challenge, compete against the best, never settle for anything other than number one, recognize the weakness in your life and attack them.
A few years ago, St. Francis won their first MIAA championship in history. In that same year, one by one, all of their MIAA opponents declared they wouldn't play St. Francis anymore. You were a young man. You heard that all the schools surrounding you wouldn't play your team anymore. On your arm, it says, compete against the best. What do you think about that?
I mean, how you expect for yourself to get better if you don't compete against somebody better than you or that's up there at your level? I feel like if you keep going after the weakest link or somebody that's not as on your level, I don't feel like you're going to get any better.
You know, I can think of nothing more important in today's culture than for a young man to understand where he is and how to navigate what's going on around him. And I can't say enough about Derek. He's a fine young man, and he espouses a lot of the legacy that St. Francis is pouring into these young men.
Derek has overcome so many odds. He's beat the odds and overcome so many obstacles to become who he is both on and off of the football field, Joe Ball. I'm so impressed by his desire to not only make it himself, but to be sure that he reaches back and sets those up who are coming after him. You said it yourself there. He is a representation of the coaches and the men that are in his life helping him to get better.
Back to some football action from last night, and to the district we go. A battle of DCIAA championship contenders, Coach Nesbitt's Coolidge Colts taking on Coach Tyson's Bell Griffins. These two have been on a collision course all season. Week 1 of conference play. Let's settle the score. Coolidge controlled nearly all of the first quarter, but the Griffins' bend but don't break defense wouldn't even budge. They slammed the door on the Colts time and time again. Nearing the close of the first half, Coolidge with what could have been a costly 15-yard penalty, gifting Bell one last play. QB D'Amico Suggs drops back, looks and delivers, but is picked off. And we're scoreless through 2.
game plan never changed. So we always gonna be a second half team.
Early in the third, and the Griffins find their wings. Zion Suggs takes the reverse and gets into the end zone for 6. Bell seizes control. Fourth quarter now, and the Griffins are threatening again. Senior running back Tobias Barton slams the stable on the Colts, powering his way into the end zone. 12-0 is your final score.
I'm just excited for this team. This team works extremely hard. They stay together. You'll hear that from my team throughout the day. They're going to stay together. It's a resilient bunch. Reminds me of another team. But this team stays with each other. And I'm just happy that they went out there and got the job done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And up next, Chad Ricardo and the Grill Crew are in the cage again. Stay right there. It's going to be a good one. We'll be right back.
Y'all, this is Bulldog Country, and you're watching High Def High School on 7 News.
And don't forget, you can check out the show right here at 11:30 a.m. every Saturday on 7 News WJLA. And then you can go over to our YouTube channel anytime you want. We're open 24 hours a day, and check out all of our past episodes and great digital content. Right now, it's time for the Grill Crew. Chad is back in the Octagon visiting with Coach Rob Harris and triple threat Josh Morgan Green.
This is the Grill Crew. We are here at the Octagon of Athletic Republic. Usually we're over there, but we're here because we've got such an intense dialogue to talk about. Our combatants today, my main man, Coach Rob Harris, also an alum of Carroll High School and the Assistant Athletic Director. Coach Harris, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Triple Threat himself, owner and head athletic trainer at Triple Threat Training, Josh Morgan Green. Thank you very much for stopping through, bro. Gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about name, image, and likeness. This is a big topic, of course, amongst collegiate student athletes, their ability to now make money. Many individuals are very happy about that, especially the student athletes themselves. There are others out there that say that this has the potential of ruining the college game. Where do you all stand?
I'm going to start with high school before we get into the college. I mean, do you know which state is the only state that a player can get paid before they get to college?
I don't know, Josh.
California. And so I think that if we're starting out that young with amateur athletes being able to get paid for their name, image, and likeness, I think it changes the game completely. I mean, you have brands now coming in and saying, hey, we want you to wear this shirt and we'll pay you X amount of dollars. And I think that can help a lot of people build and get out of communities that they're in just because they play sports. So I love it. I'm a social media guy. I feel like I help build my brand based off of social media. So I'm all for it, and yeah, I like it.
Coach, your thoughts?
I think for many years it's been a double standard. If I'm a tennis player, I can use my name, image, and likeness at 12, 13 years old.
From whatever age? From
whatever age. If I'm a golfer, same thing. But if I'm a football or basketball player, which we know that generally affects our community, it has not been the same. But those same young people can also play in the Olympics.
Sure.
But they've already earned value in their name, image, and likeness. So I think.
So what you're speaking to there is the thought is that there will be a loss of amateur status, but you're saying that doesn't apply for the other.
Doesn't apply for the other sports. And I think if we're going to look at it that way, we have to be fair and look at it and give people an opportunity to earn. And for many years, college football players, college basketball players have gotten the bare minimum. Some kids I've known have gone to college, couldn't put gas in their car. They couldn't pay for their laundry bill, their cleaning bill. So, and then you have a kid that may be a golfer or a bowler or a tennis player. They go to college and they still have been able to earn.
I got a couple of pushbacks here because that's my job, is to push back on this. Of course, the first pushback is the one that we've heard for years and years and years, which is that a college scholarship is money, that a college scholarship pays upwards of $30,000 annually to a student athlete, which oftentimes comes with a stipend as well.
I think the college scholarship now, it holds a lot of value. Going to college, getting an education. But I think times are changing. When I was a kid, my parents told me, grow up, get you a government job, get you a nice, get you some insurance, and get a retirement. Nowadays, it's about being an entrepreneur. It's about the young people want to be YouTubers and social influencers. And so you don't have to necessarily go to college for that. You could play a sport and you could start that at 12 and 13 years old. And so just looking at amateurism from that perspective of, you know, not being able to get paid for the accolades that you do. I'm sure all of us had, I know as a kid, I had tons of Steve Blake, Steve Francis jerseys from Maryland. And I know they didn't see a dime, and that's unfair. And so just to say that we're giving you a scholarship to come and represent our school, you kind of look at it now like, I should be getting more than just an education because I'm bringing more value to your school. So you're just giving me the bare minimum instead of giving my full potential.
And don't forget, you can check out an extended version of that Grill Crew conversation and all of them, for instance, at highdefhighschool.com or highdefhigh.com and on our YouTube channel. Just search on YouTube High Def High School. We just launched that YouTube channel this week, so we need all the subscribers we can get. Jump on and let's go. And coming up next, Chad and I are looking at next week and taking sides. It's time to pick them. Stay right there. High Def High School is in session on the other side of the break.
Welcome back. Thank you all for tuning in and checking us out. Next week, we're going to take a look at a young man who dedicated his entire life to showcasing student athletes until that life was taken away too soon.
And that's going to be a heartfelt story. You don't want to miss that one. Also next week, there are some games that you want to keep an eye out for. We're going to start with Madison and Marshall, a rivalry game in Vienna, Falls Church area. These two kids are intermingled with youth baseball, youth football. They've grown up together. It's a statement game in Vienna and Falls Church. Madison, Marshall, it's always a tough game.
Marshall is anchored by stud linebacker Dylan Liskey on defense. Nakia Wilson carries the bulk of the load on the ground, and Jeff Ryder runs that offense at quarterback, but they will struggle against Madison.
Chad, before you even get a word out of your mouth, I'm picking Madison, and this isn't going to be a close game.
Joe Ball, I wish that I could go against you. The people love it when we argue with one another, but that Madison squad, we saw them begin to fly a couple of weeks ago. Madison keeps it rolling.
And staying in Virginia, probably the biggest game of the weekend in that state, Stonebridge and Broad Run. Jacob Thomas leads the Bulldogs into this game. Eli Mason and Zeke Wimbush, a lot of speed, a lot of misdirection in that single wing offense. Dylan Huntermark has been a surprise, probably not to Coach Mickey Thompson, but he has been all over the field. Zach Lang providing senior leadership on defense, and Carter Sweezy anchoring the line on both sides of the football. I think this team has too much firepower for Broad Run, but you've had a chance to see Broad Run this year.
And Joe Ball, when you speak about that win streak, I got to tell you and I've got to tell everybody at Stonebridge this, that win streak is coming to an end. Big Broad Run is coming through. Everybody knows that Alex Birchmeyer is holding down that offensive line. We know that Griffiths is going to be getting it done from the quarterback position, but that defense led by free safety Love is going to get it done. And on the offensive side of the ball, the playmakers on the outside, Isaiah Lemons has been unstoppable thus far this year, but the difference maker, Joe Ball, the difference maker in this game will be Aslan Snipe. I predict he runs for 3 touchdowns, leading the Broad Run Spartans past Stonebridge. Upset in the making. Put some on it.
Okay, I'm going with Stonebridge. Until somebody knocks them off, they're going to keep going. This team is too much for Northern Virginia. I say Stonebridge by 2 touchdowns.
Well, Joe Ball, our dear friend Coach Savage, he agrees with you. We got into it a little bit on Twitter, but we'll see. That's why they play the game. I'm going Broad Run.
And Good Counsel and St. Mary's Riken. Good Counsel, are they still smarting?
This is a big game for both of these two teams, Joe Ball. As you allude to there, each of them have lost a couple of games already this season. The loser of this game will be in hot water. This is a big matchup.
Okay, so then pick it, Chad. What do you got?
I've got to go with Coach Andy Stefanelli and this Good Counsel Falcon squad. Nobody circles the wagons like Good Counsel. He's going to get that team on path headed into WCAC play.
And Chad is a believer in St. Mary's Riken. He has been one to counter me when I've talked them down. I don't think they have the team, though, at all.
Shout out Coach Aaron Brady. Every year, Riken is ready. This might not be their game, but every year they're ready. They'll be ready for Carroll at the end of the season.
Riken's not ready for Good Counsel this weekend. I agree with Chad. Good Counsel wins this one by at least 3 touchdowns.
Woo, boy.
Look, we are out of time, but we want you to come back and see us again next week right here on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on 7 News WJLA. And remember, every Friday night, Scott Abraham and Olivia Garvey on Friday nights are 7 on Your Sideline. They're hitting around 20 games a week, and then come join us again on Saturday mornings for the full story, some provocative conversation, and great highlight action right here on High Def High School. For Chad Ricardo, I'm Joe Ball. We'll see you next time.